Thanks for staying with us at STL Live. I'm Sarah Thompson, and my guests are Dr. Robert Hart Baker and Doug Kenner, and we're talking about the St. Louis Philharmonic Orchestra and the season starting. The concert series is starting in just a few weeks in October. I wanted to talk about, you have Bjorn Ranheim, cellist from the St. Louis Symphony Orchestra, who's going to be performing with you. How did that collaboration come about?
Well, a couple of different ways. Quite a few of us in the Philharmonic know Bjorn. Doug knows him from seeing him at his apartment building in the
we
gym.
Actually lived in we actually lived in the same apartment building early on when he first came to St. Louis.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
And so fellow musicians, you just got to talking.
Absolutely.
And he's a musical friend to the orchestra, and we finally had a chance to invite him to play a solo. Also, he has a big following in St. Louis, not only for his work in the symphony, but also the chamber music that he does. So he's quite an active figure. I live on a farm out in St. Clair, Missouri, and the woman who runs the farm goes to his chamber music concert.
Really?
So, I mean, it's a name that lots of people know. He's going to be performing the Saint-Saëns Cello Concerto, which is the piece he asked to play with us, which is a wonderful cello concerto. And the really neat thing is that he's going to show off how he plays the William Tell Overture. There's a famous cello solo that starts that. He's going to come back out after intermission and sit in with our cello section, and we're going to have the Lucky 13. He'll be the 13th cellist to our 12, and he plays the great William Tell solo with us. So that's really sitting in with the musicians, we call it, and we're very happy about that.
That's wonderful. When we started, you've got this great brochure in your lap, and we kind of started with a close-up shot on that. That really has what's outlined for the rest of the season, is that correct?
Yes, anybody would like one of our brochures, which has all of the pieces listed in all of our programs. You can get it from our website. You can just email us at stlouisphilharmonic.org, and we'll take care of you.
Okay, so In Pursuit of the Ring is October 13th, but what do we have in store for November?
Well, in November, on the 17th, we also have a soloist, but this time it's within the orchestra. That's Matt Fredrickson, our principal trombone, and he's going to be performing a trombone concerto by Ferdinand David, and this is one of the better-known romantic-sounding trombone concertos, which maybe people haven't run into before, but it's a great fun piece. He'll also be holding forth in the brass section for the Wagner, so he's getting a real workout this fall. And also, along with, in that concert, we're also doing a fantastic symphony by Rachmaninoff, the Second Symphony. So we call that Reveling in Rachmaninoff, and that's truly what we'll be doing.
Yeah, that's wonderful. I mean, Doug, when you think about it, there's a loyal following, obviously, and the Philharmonic Orchestra has been around for a long time. I mean, what do you think it is that people love about the experience?
You know, the people playing in the orchestra love it because they can play at a very high level and play all the repertoire and keep up their skills, to say the least. The audience likes it, and what I continually hear after almost every concert is, you know, when we come and watch, everybody up there really looks like they're enjoying themselves and having fun. And we're also probably not, you know, we don't have so many concerts that it's that huge of a commitment, yet they can come hear music played at an absolutely wonderful level. And but I think that's it as much as anything.
You know, that's actually a very interesting point, and I think it's interesting that you bring that up, because I think when you do go for that experience, I have certainly been in the audience, and you do look to see how the members of the orchestra feel. You want to, and I know you shouldn't necessarily read into if there's a serious face that means necessarily anything, but you do want to feel that there's that passion there. I have to get to, before we wrap up, I know there's legacy stories, if you will. It's been around for the orchestra's been around for a long time. Can you share one or two with us?
Well, I'll let Bob share the one that that he knows, and then I can.
The one I heard when I came here was that the Eads in the Eads Bridge was one of the founders of the orchestra. He played the flute, and he wanted to make sure that St. Louis had an amateur orchestra that would be great. And so every time I think about that bridge, I think about the Philharmonic. I hope that's true. It might be an urban legend. It might have been, over the years, amplified a bit, but it's certainly an indication that at the time, St. Louis was becoming a well-known city and so forth, and so that was an element that he wanted to see there.
Yeah, that's a great.
And very creative people. So that's really something we love. And then also, there have been many, many conductors over the years, and they've all left their imprint on the orchestra. And we actually have a beautiful archival collection of a lot of their music. You can see the signatures of some of those conductors from way past 100 years ago and what they wanted to interpret in the music and so forth. So there's a wonderful legacy.
And you'll have yours. One day someone will be looking back at yours. Yes, yes, of course. Well, thank you so much. We're going to have the information for the screen for this, what's coming up. The St. Louis Philharmonic Orchestra, it's the 2017-18 season. The concert series begins Friday, October 13th. And you can get more information, tickets, all of that at stlphilharmonic.org or call the number on your screen, 314-421-4600. There's more STL Live right after this. Please stay with us.